On New Year's Eve, a group of friends decided to celebrate the arrival of the new year by renting a cabin in a remote forest. Excitement filled the air as they gathered around a crackling fire, sipping hot cocoa and sharing stories late into the night. As the clock neared midnight, they heard a faint sound coming from the woods, a rhythmic tapping that seemed to echo through the trees. At first, they dismissed it as the wind or an animal, but as the tapping grew louder and more persistent, their unease grew. Curiosity getting the better of them, two of the friends ventured into the darkness with flashlights, determined to uncover the source of the mysterious sound. As they made their way deeper into the forest, the tapping grew louder, almost frantic. Suddenly, they stumbled upon an old abandoned cabin hidden among the trees. The windows were shattered, and the door hung loosely on its hinges. Despite the eerie atmosphere, they pushed open the door and stepped inside, their flashlights casting long shadows on the dusty interior. The tapping sound was deafening now, coming from a dark corner of the cabin. Heart racing, one of the friends approached cautiously, shining the flashlight on a rusted metal box. With trembling hands, they lifted the lid, revealing a collection of old photographs. As they flipped through the images, horror washed over them. The photos depicted scenes of a gruesome murder, blood-stained walls, twisted bodies, and sinister symbols scrawled in red. Panicked, they rushed back to their friends at the campfire, trying to make sense of what they had found. But before they could explain, the tapping sound stopped abruptly, replaced by an eerie silence. Terrified, they decided to leave the cabin immediately, packing their belongings in a hurry. As they drove away from the forest, the clock struck midnight, signaling the start of the new year. But the memory of that horrifying discovery haunted them long after, leaving them with a chilling reminder that some secrets are best left undisturbed in the darkness of the night. On New Year's Eve, a small town nestled in the mountains was gearing up for its annual celebration. The streets were adorned with festive lights, and the air was filled with excitement and anticipation. However, little did the townsfolk know that this night would be marred by a terrifying crime that would haunt them for years to come. As the clock struck midnight and fireworks lit up the sky, a young woman named Emily went missing. She was last seen leaving a New Year's Eve party at a local bar, her friends assuming she had gone home early due to feeling unwell. Days went by with no sign of Emily, and the town was gripped by fear and suspicion. The police launched a massive search effort, scouring the surrounding woods and questioning everyone who attended the party. But as time passed, hope of finding Emily alive began to fade. A month later, on a cold and foggy morning, a hiker stumbled upon a gruesome scene in the woods, a shallow grave containing Emily's lifeless body. She had been brutally murdered, her hands bound and a look of terror frozen on her face. The news sent shockwaves through the town, and rumors of a killer on the loose spread like wildfire. The police launched a full-scale investigation, but leads were scarce, and the killer remained elusive. Months turned into years, and the case went cold. However, every New Year's Eve, the town was haunted by the memory of Emily's murder. Some claimed to have seen her ghost wandering the streets, her screams echoing in the night. Despite the passage of time, the killer was never caught, leaving the town with a lingering sense of unease every time the calendar turned to December 31st. To this day, the mystery of Emily's murder remains unsolved, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most festive occasions. On a frigid New Year's Eve, a small town named Blackwood was preparing to celebrate the arrival of a promising year. The streets were adorned with colorful lights, and the air buzzed with anticipation. Little did the residents know that this night would be forever etched in their nightmares. In the heart of Blackwood stood St. Mary's Church, a majestic structure known for its stunning architecture and profound history. The church was renowned for its annual New Year's Eve Mass, a tradition that attracted both locals and visitors alike. This year, however, the Mass would become a chilling tale of horror. As the clock struck midnight, the townspeople gathered within the church, their voices echoing in prayer. The atmosphere was serene, a momentary respite from the chaos of the world. But within the shadows, evil lurked. Unbeknownst to the congregation, a deranged individual named Samuel Hargrove had managed to infiltrate the sacred walls of St. Mary's. Samuel, a disturbed recluse with a dark past, harbored an intense hatred for religious ceremonies. His twisted mind craved chaos and suffering, and this night seemed perfect for his sinister plan. Clad in a black cloak and wielding a wicked blade, Samuel positioned himself in the back of the church, hidden amongst the pews. As the priest elevated the Eucharist, a hush fell over the crowd, their eyes closed in reverence. But what was about to happen would shatter their peace forever. Without warning, Samuel lunged forward, his blade glinting in the dim light. The screams of terror reverberated through the church as panic ensued. People stampeded toward the exits, trampling over one another in their desperate bid for survival. Samuel, fueled by madness, pursued his victims relentlessly, slashing at anyone within his reach. Blood stained the sacred grounds, mingling with the prayers and desperate pleas for help. The once holy sanctuary became a scene of unspeakable horror. In the chaos, some managed to escape, their faces etched with trauma. But many innocent souls met their tragic end that night, their lives extinguished by a man consumed by darkness. The massacre lasted only minutes, but the scars it left on the survivors would last a lifetime. When the authorities arrived, they found Samuel Hargrove's lifeless body, having taken his own life in the aftermath of his heinous act. The town of Blackwood was left shattered, grappling with the aftermath of the nightmarish event. The once celebrated New Year's Eve Mass became a haunting memory, a chilling reminder of the evil that can lurk within the shadows. To this day, the town of Blackwood carries the weight of that fateful New Year's Eve. St. Mary's Church stands as a somber reminder of the lives lost and the innocence forever stolen. The Midnight Massacre remains etched in the annals of true crime, a tale that sends shivers down the spines of those who dare to speak its name.